Wholeness. Welcome to my channel. So, I'm just starting my day. I just finished a nice nature walk in I think one of my favorite parks that I've visited since coming back to Indiana and in the current city I live in, which I may be living here for a while. A question, a thought came through as I was meditating with the river. Meditation doesn't always mean that we sit and close our eyes and fold our legs and, you know, meditation is just sitting and being present with the now. And I love river energy. That's one of my favorite water energies is the river. Maybe because I grew up partly in the city. Actually, now that I think of it, I grew up in a city with a river, which was part of my upbringing. And then when we moved to the East Coast as a kid, we lived near Lake Erie. So water, has always pretty much been present in my life now that I think about it. In my childhood, I should say. But yeah, I love rivers. And so, sitting there, and as I was sitting with the river and, with this beautiful body of water that's going in one direction, I've noticed that a lot of our thoughts, my thoughts were coming up either through songs I've heard before or songs that have never been written. I was humming them. Old memories, feelings, emotions, fears, all these things would randomly just kind of pop up as I was watching. The current was very fast today and the water is very high. I mean, we're just entering into the beginning of spring where I live, and so, water's going to be very high from the melted ice and frigid and cold and just gushing towards the one direction. But I thought, why do we run away from our thoughts? Why do we run away from our most intimate inner reality, a part of our most intimate inner reality? Most of the thoughts that we have aren't our own, these thought forms. And I say thought forms because they're shared. They take formality and they lock into us and we lock into them, and thus they have form whenever they begin to repeat. It's like a song you love or a song that you find annoying, and it just keeps going over and over and over, and you're playing in your head over and over and over. That's a thought form, right? And or memory that keeps playing over and over in your head, that's a thought form. Thought forms are very powerful, and we can't see them. That's the thing, right? We can't see our thoughts. We can definitely feel them, though. It can definitely affect our emotional state. But that's the question that came very strongly when I was sitting with the river and sitting with this body of water that was the current was moving so fast, and it's still cold. Like, I think today it's still in the 50s. I think the highest will be like in the low 60s maybe. In the park I'm at, like the trees, things are just now starting to come back, budding and blossoming. But, the importance of allowing yourself to hear you, to hear what's going on in your mind is so profoundly important. And we live in such a state now where distraction, we're being tricked into believing that distraction is the key to healing. Constant overstimulation of the mind does nothing but calcify you. It calcifies your heart. It calcifies your ability to discern, your ability to know what feels right and what feels good, and knowing the difference. And so, now obviously it's a lot. I feel more comfortable coming out in nature in spring, summer, fall. Winter, I just want to kind of stay inside. I have gone running in the winter before when I used to run, and you know, winter, doing anything active, physically active in the middle of winter, it takes a certain kind of mental strength. I will say that. And plus, I like to be properly dressed. You need wool. You need natural, hardcore fibers that can get you through camping in the winter, which I've done. Camping in the winter and doing anything active in the winter. Otherwise, you're gonna feel miserable. You have to be prepared for that. So I normally stay inside during the winter season, but spring, it's just so nice breathing in fresh air. It feels nice to feel the sun, the warmth of the sun. It feels nice hearing the birds chirping when I first get up in the morning and I'm laying in bed and I can hear them chirping and singing to each other, and a rooster, crowing, and just life, and but yeah, I just wanted to bring up this question: why do we run away from our thoughts? Why do we distract ourselves from our inner thoughts? I feel that whatever we're running away from is exactly what we need to free ourselves, to liberate ourselves. We are, we always talk about, well, I don't know what people are talking about now. It's just a mess. Like, the internet and the digital age has brought out the best, I think, in humanity, but also the worst, the diabolical. Like, 10, 15 years time, people will be embarrassed looking back at how, like, we're doing this to ourselves, really, right? It's like the digital world has created a mirror for us to look at ourselves as a species, as the collective. So, yeah, thought forms are real, they're very much alive, and it's all about being the space of being the ultimate observer. And, um, it's a practice of non attachment, not beating yourself up because you're thinking those thoughts, right? And many of the thoughts that you think have been thought before. Nothing is new under the sun, really. Nothing is new. Even people who come up with original ideas, those original ideas come from somewhere else, right? It comes from the all. And maybe that's the biggest question: where does it all come from? Original thought. We all want to claim that we're the originals of something, right? No one's ever done art like this before. No one's ever come up with this agenda before. No one's ever come up with this business plan before. No one's ever come up with this style before. We all want to be unique without truly knowing our most authentic self. And that is what's coming up through the digital age. It's this very superficial, surface level depth, but there is no depth. Oh, a bird just pooped on my window. Hmm. Interesting. I wonder what's symbolic about that, or what could be symbolic about it. If you look hard enough, you could probably see what they ate, which is seeds and grass, and I don't know. It's pretty gross, but I don't care. um, I also, on my walk today, I saw a lot of purple. A lot of purple. Purple little tiny flowers. Like little clusters of them everywhere, and by the riverbed. And all I can think of when I think of purple or violet is the third eye, or that higher crown. When I think of color, I always think of the energy centers that we have, and then I ask myself, why is the solar plexus yellow? Why is the heart green? Why is the throat chakra blue? Why is the root chakra red? Right? Why do we put our energy centers and how we perceive energy in these boxes? I know it's thousands of years old, and I know that there's some truth behind it and some validity behind it, but why? Right? We can only know our own inner truth. And I find that on the spiritual path of consciousness and or evolution of consciousness, we want to hug onto systems in order to understand our inner truth. And then at the end of it, we come to the conclusion that that can only take us so far. That's why it's important to take off all your jewelry, put away your crystals, wear something plain, put away your mala beads, put away the sage, put away all these spiritual tools, your holy books, Bible, Quran, Bhagavad Gita, Torah, grimoire. Put all that away, and then go out to nature and be with you. Be with the all. Because really, you don't need all that stuff. It's a nice anchor. It's a nice spiritual anchor. It's a nice map that we can always return to. And that's why my spiritual practices are a mixture of different things, because it helps me understand my inner knowing. But I know that it's not the end all be all. It's just a map. Animal medicine is just a map. Crystals are just a map. The Quran is just a map. But if you want to keep it incredibly simple, use nature. Nature is our map, is our home. So that's what the river medicine, the river spirit brought up out of me in this talk today. I feel so much calmer and collected. I feel less heavy after the walk. Is it still a bit chilly for me? Yes, I'm a tall, thin person, and I get cold fairly easy. So I just, I'm layered up, got my leggings, got a thicker, my black sweater dress, and my favorite scarf. This scarf to me is very, very special. I have a weird relationship with clothes, and maybe I will make a video about that, on my relationship with decorating the external shell. But this is one of my favorite pieces, because I took it with me to Sedona. It was blessed by the Sedona winds. I went to the energy vortex there, and it was just amazing. but I held my scarf up for probably about half hour, just walking on top of the mesa, and it's just been with me ever since. So that was a thing in 2020, and I just wear this to work. I wear this to wrap my locks. I wear this when I'm cold. And when I just in blue, because I wear certain colors in certain seasons, but that's another video. So yeah, I'm gonna go home and work on some very important things. And it's very nice sharing with you what the river brought up in me today. Like, make space to hear yourself. Make space to hear your inner thoughts. Because distractions are only, that's killing. It's just really, really lowering, subduing our power, subduing our true purpose. All right, take care. Wholeness.